Hello, 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 beautiful people of the world. Welcome back to the Yacht Heroes. Welcome back to the Happy Idea Show. Here you can learn and flourish with the thoughts, ideas, and the stories of the lifestyle legends. Have you ever given a thought that whenever you have created an idea or some strategy and you have shared with your beloved one or with the world, they have laughed at you or they criticized you? Yes, this is usually what happens when we create innovative ideas and we try to share. People usually laugh or criticize that it cannot be happen or it will never happen, it's almost impossible. This is what happened something in the early 1900s, that the Wright brothers thought about flying a machine in the air. Well, people laughed at them and they have been criticized a lot. Machine in the air? Yes, but today is the history. From the seaplane to the commercial jumbo jet, we can see the aviation industry has the pointer, not only in America, around the world. People have innovated lot many things. So what makes so special about the airlines industry, the aviation industry? It is the commercial or the business jet. I believe the business jet. Today we're going to talk about one of those inventors. She started her career as an internship and she ended up becoming the expert aviation interior designer, and she started her own entrepreneurship that she visualized it in the early childhood that this is it, business jet. Yes, luxurious business jets. You can name it. People usually dream about it, but she dreamt it and she made it happen, and her story is remarkable. We're going to talk about Natalie Rodríguez. She's on the show today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my dignified friends straight from Texas, US. Natalie, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing so good, and I'm just so glad to be here, and I'm really glad we were able to make this work. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure and honor. I've been going through with your profile, and common friends has suggested that she's a wonderful, very creative in the aviation industry. We have a lot of questions. Maybe we'll try to sum up in some condensed way, and then to see that what we can learn from your untold story. So let me tell
Yeah.
us. Let me tell us about your childhood story. That where were you born? If you have any adversity or defeats, how did you overcome with that? We would like to know about your childhood story till now, how you started your career. Please tell us.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. So I will start to say that I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, in the United States, and I have very deep roots here. So I'm very much a San Antonio girl. However, I was actually born in McAllen, Texas,
Okay.
closer to Mexico. So I started there. That's where I was born. And then I moved to San Antonio when I was around 5 or so.
Okay.
And then yeah. So, just moved the one time though, and it wasn't until I started working when I lived in Louisiana for a couple years. But to keep it focused on the childhood aspect, I grew up as a competitive dancer.
Wow.
I started It's from yeah. I started dance from the age of 3, and even well after I had already graduated from university, I still continued to be in the dance studio. I taught quite a bit, and then once things with my career started, moving me to a couple different places, I, didn't necessarily, I wasn't as involved as I was before, but I still teach from time to time. But I did everything. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was everything from ballet, jazz, tap, contemporary, acrobatics, and contortion as well. So it's been a really wonderful, well-rounded dance education. But then also really got a wonderful support system just throughout the entirety of my life. My family. I just couldn't ask for anybody better, honestly. My parents, my sister, I love them so much, and I honestly just have the most wonderful friends. Was part of dance team in high school as well. My mom would want me to say that I was co-captain of the dance team and that I was voted most talented in high school. Most of the time I don't say that, but my mom would want me to say that. So I'm going to put it on the podcast as part of my untold story, since it isn't something that I talk about quite a bit. This is the perfect chance to do that. And it's Thank you so much. Thank you. And overall, it's been a wonderful childhood. It's been a wonderful upbringing. And I wouldn't say that adversities really started until after I started getting into the workforce. And I think a lot of people can really relate to that. Just with, companies going through changes and then, maybe letting some people go. And, the circumstances were always different every single time. And sometimes life just happens to where you need to be the one to make the move. And it isn't necessarily something that could have been helped otherwise. And it's just something that happens, and I don't think that a lot of people talk about it enough. And I didn't realize whenever those times of adversity were happening how normal it actually was, and how everybody gets, for example, let go at some point. Everybody ends up changing jobs maybe a few different times before they end up finding something that they truly love. So I would say that that's more when my adversities, you could say, started just going through adulthood and adulting, you could say, and just sort of navigating that. And I feel like we're all learning as we grow. We're all living for the very first time.
So true. So true. Well, this is wonderful. Thanks for sharing your first part of your career path before starting it off. You know what?
Exactly.
I don't know this was a true question or not, but it makes a lot of sense. Once Dr. Einstein was asked, so Dr. Einstein, tell us why we are here on Earth. And he took a pause and he said, I think we are here on Earth to serve others.
Yes.
So what are we doing is serving tangibly or intangibly. So intangibly, you have given a gratitude to your family. That's wonderful. Now let us tell us about, Natalie, what was your first idea, if you remember that sparked in your mind to get into not any other business, construction or jewelry or any XYZ, but you chose one of the most prominent, luxurious industry, aviation designing. So tell us, what was your first idea that sparked in your mind, and how did you start this luxurious aviation designing artwork? Please tell us.
Thank you. It's so funny because I actually knew that I wanted to design aircraft interiors from the time that I was 16 years old. So I was still in braces, and I was chatting with my best friend in high school, and we were just talking about what we wanted to do when we grew up, what we maybe wanted to study when we got to university. And I shared that I think I want to be an interior designer because in addition to competitive dance, I was also really into visual arts. And so so I kind of wanted something that was going to exercise that creativity, but still, but still something that would be a relatively stable career. People need interior designers. They need somebody to work out how their space is going to be. So I thought it would be a good fit.
Wonderful. I really admire that the way you started with internship and with a humble beginning, and look at you where you are today, a successful entrepreneur, being a woman, taking courageous. I'm not sure it's a male dominating industry that you still deal with a lot of private jet owners who are male dominated corporates and all. And this is a challenging for you to step in and then to just not be an employee and to start your own entrepreneurship and business. It's a courageous thing. So I want to say congratulations on that. It's such a bold step you have taken and you have reached so far. And as you do the interior of the private jets and the other aircrafts too as well, and you do refurbishment or remaking and all. My question is, can you tell us about what sustainable procedures do you take to maintain the Mother Earth and ocean? Because any debris or any waste end up going onto the Earth and the ocean itself. But I know you fly, all your objects flies in the air, but something comes on the ground back again. So how do you make your client happier for giving them innovative ideas to make sustainable procedures? So can you share with us, please?
Oh, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about because I think what's so wonderful, I just have an amazing network of suppliers that I feel so blessed to know, and other aviation designers in the industry will know exactly what I'm talking about as well, because they'll have all the same resources. But it's been wonderful to see what everyone in our industry has been able to come up with in terms of more sustainable materials, more environmentally and eco-friendly. And even though the interior makes up only a small portion of what we can contribute to the overall goal of having a more sustainable experience while we're here on Earth, it still makes a really, really big difference. And even if it makes a small impact, like maybe using certain materials that are made from byproducts of marble waste or mother of pearl byproducts, things like that. And I'll come on to those in just a second. But I think when we use natural materials and when we use what is naturally available to us, sometimes it's the most beautiful products that can come to life. Like definitely some of my most favorite things to use, it includes from a couple of different suppliers, stone and mother of pearl surfaces that are essentially made from byproducts like mentioned before. And otherwise the byproducts would be discarded, they would be thrown out, and you wouldn't, they would almost be wasted at that point. So why not repurpose them and give them a second life?
No, this is wonderful what you have shared, that the ecosystem, the sustainability, this is what we do need to practice as each individual's responsibility on Mother Earth is to practice sustainability as much as possible, to eliminate a lot of junks we buy from the stores, and without even reaching home, the knobs falls out and the buttons are broken. And so in the living in aviation, a very luxurious lifestyle industry, that you are maintaining the sustainability is really remarkable. Thanks for sharing all this input and that. And we will definitely try to look into and practice, and I want to educate myself more. But can you, Natalie, walk us through with the procedure, that how you get your clients and how do they hire you or you reach out to them? Because it's a very VVIP, ultra network high worth people to reach in that sector. It's a dream come true for many, even educated and wealthy people. And you are already inside creating a benchmark. Can you walk us through with the procedure? Do they reach out to you? You reach out to them? And what are the challenges you have faced when they reject you and you didn't get the work?
Oh, thank you so much for your kind words and for bringing that up too, because it is a question that I tend to get a lot. And honestly, it's different every time. Sometimes it will be the end user who reaches out, and they might hear about me through word of mouth just from within their own community. Like maybe one of their friends had worked with me in the past, and then it's through a referral. And sometimes it will be maybe someone from like their aviation team. So it might be their director of maintenance. They might hear about me through somebody else, or maybe they had some different experience with like a smaller project where maybe we work together by proxy, or maybe for just a few moments and we just happen to get on very well. And then sometimes it will be through completion centers and maintenance, repair, and overhaul centers. Sometimes they will need additional design help, and perhaps they don't have the design help in-house, or maybe they do, but their designers are very much bogged down and they just need some additional support. And so I definitely help in those ways too.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing with us. And not many people are not aware of that, this practice, and maybe they can exercise in some creative method and they can reach out to you. As you said that you like to teach, and also I think this is one of the reasons you are on Mother Earth as an earth angel or earthy light here to spread with your wise wisdom to share and teach other women entrepreneurs, or even men too as well. Because it's very tough where you are in today. It's not it's many people's not even a dream, and many people who dream they can't even reach. So where you are today is very remarkable accomplishments. to reach to the skies in a very luxurious way and to create a benchmark. So thanks so much for sharing that.
So,
Natalie, thanks, you're welcome. Please tell us about how do you feel or felt when you were aware that you've been chosen nominated for the Aviation and Yacht Awards? Share us about
oh,
that, please.
that was so much fun. Okay, that was back in 2019, and I still think about it to this day. Like when I say my prayers at night, that's actually one of the things that I thank God for most of the time. I'm like, I just thank him for that experience because it was so wonderful. It was beautiful. And it was right when I would say my career started taking off
Yeah.
because we I worked for a completion center at that time, and we all had our design concepts that we were working on. And I knew of quite a few well-known figures in our industry who had participated in the Yacht and Aviation Awards, and I was very curious about it. And
Mhm.
so Ken Harvey, who I had mentioned earlier, who
Yeah.
played a very pivotal role in my career, this is one of those instances. I had just asked him, hey, by chance, would I be able to enter my design concept in this in this competition?
Yes.
And he could have said anything and I would have been fine with it. But the way I always see it is you never know what the answer is going to be unless you
True.
just ask and if you just put it out there.
Okay, now we talked about the aviation and the yachting too. Now, can you please tell us, because aviation, yachting, and marine, these are interconnected and these are one or the other. And this is the luxurious industry. People who have yachts, no doubt, most of the time they do have a private aircrafts and private helicopters or all the automobiles, fancy cars and luxurious cars and all. Now you've been in this industry for quite a while. What innovative ideas do you have you want to share with the aviation and yachting industry that can help eliminate those notions of not hiring or implementing those aspects? What innovative idea would you like to share for the aviation and yachting industry that it can highlight and it can bring more innovative and sustainability growth in that industry?
I would say the first thing that immediately comes to mind is just being mindful of material selection and what
Okay.
materials are being used. And one of the things that I forgot to mention earlier, I've been a really big fan of carpets with undyed yarns, actually,
Okay.
and yeah, that's also been something like things that are very intentional that have a beautiful mission behind it, to have a more beautiful and sustainable world and just overall taking care of the planet that we live in, um even in our little side of the industry, doing the interiors, we can make such a big difference by just being more selective with what it is that we propose to customers and being more mindful. I would say that some of these items are naturally sustainable in themselves that are commonly used, like leather is one, wood veneer is one, of course, and those are, I would say, the most common materials that are used in aviation interiors in the private sector.
Yeah.
But definitely taking it a step further with the carry-on items like the eider-down duvets, the undyed carpets, and other materials and stone and hard surfaces that are made from byproducts and just
Yes.
anything absolutely beautiful. I would say that that's probably the biggest thing that I would do. Now, the customer request and addressing what the customer wants to do, that always comes first. Like that's always number one. Like if a customer just absolutely is not liking any of the sustainable things, there isn't necessarily a whole lot that you can do about that. You just kind of have to show the best things
Yeah.
that you can, the best things that you have access to, and then they always find something that they tend to like. But some customers are more environmentally conscious, and especially as time goes on. Like I had one customer about a year ago who was very interested in the undyed yarns, and they definitely wanted a carpet that had that. So
Wow. That,
it's been a
that's a
lot of
great
fun to work
approach.
on.
No,
Yeah.
maintaining that sustainability and being mindful and educating your client wherever it's possible. Because now, once you're an expert, definitely they will look for the expert advice. And this is our job or duty becomes when we are reached that pinnacle of our career, our words matter, our advice matter. And then people listen to us. I mean, 1 in 10 will be egoistic. No, this is the way I wanted it. Well, this is where we educate them to be very mindful, and these innovative ideas can impact not only to give you the luxurious lifestyle, but also thinking beyond the time if that aircraft is gone, what it will happen. I'm not saying in a disaster if you're refurnishing or remaking it and all, all the procedures there too. Wonderful.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
exactly. Is number one. Yeah, that's actually a really, really good point. Yeah, safety is always number one.
Safety and beauty, yes. Now we talked about the safety and beauty. I want to just highlight on that part. As we know, everybody knows about your charming, pleasing personality. So, and as a challenging work to you do day in, day night, it's a very detail oriented work. So, tell us about how do you harmonize your work and your physical beauty or mental health, both?
Oh, thank
How
you
do you
so much.
I don't want to use the word how do you balance your work and life because kind of cliche. It's not about balancing. For me is like harmonizing is more important. So please tell us
That's
about how
yeah.
do you harmonize your mental health, your beauty, and so does your creative work. How do you do that? Share with us, please.
That's literally such a great point. Well, first, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. And it's still a work in progress, honestly. It's definitely very different when one owns their own practice and their own business. Your work schedule kind of changes in different ways that you don't anticipate. And it's a lot different. Whenever one has a regular job and they go to work on a set schedule, 9 to 5, it's very, I would say it's different in the sense that it can provide some more predictability and where you can fit in that workout, you can fit in what you're going to do for dinner that evening, because it overall tends to be a little bit it lends its way to predictability, and when you own your own practice, I'm still getting a routine down, but so far what I have really loved doing is just taking mornings for myself. And so I like to wake up like maybe around 5:30 or so if I'm feeling super adventurous. And if I get to bed right on time the night before, I'll try for maybe 4:30, just because I like to have that time to get ready in the morning. I like to have that time to drink my coffee and to just get my life together overall. Honestly, that's what I like to do. Taking a walk around, go to the gym, like to do that as well. And that's just, I would say, part of the everyday sort of regimen that's really sort of helped get me going in the day. So that has sort of helped to set me up for success. And then actually, this is also another part of the untold story. So actually, when I was younger and actually growing up, I always kind of thought, when I'm like in my 60s and above, and when I'm retired and everything, I'm going to be one of those cute little ladies that go to mass every day, because I actually come from a Catholic background, and I just figured, okay, like that's what I'm gonna do whenever I'm a little bit more seasoned and all of that. And when and then I don't know, it hit me like earlier this year, wait a second, you have your own business and you can kind of shape shift your schedule a little bit, so you could make time for this. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, let me try it. And now that's actually part of my daily routine now as well. So I'll have my time for myself in the morning, whatever it is that I need to do. And then I will go to mass after that. And then by the time I'm out from mass, the rest of the day has already started. Like will have just started the rest of their day. So, and it's just taking that time for myself in the morning has been really pivotal, I would say, in setting the day up for success. That's what I do.
The way you demonstrated very smartly and humbly, like you like to maintain, and one of the beauty that you had a vision in your mind when you'll be 60 physically, but not mentally. You'll be child inside, and you'll be still kid little in that age. I mean, what I find in that when the joy, the smile and laughter is gone from our life, we perish and we dull, we decay. When the laughter is gone, what does remain in our life? And so that what you meant to say, when you'll be 60, you will now be still active, contribute towards your faith, what you believe in, and same time you'll be maintaining the harmonious lifestyle and business too as well, and to having the successful habits, what you said. With that
Thank
successful
you.
habit, you're welcome. With that successful habit, Natalie, share with us your success story. That is, what advice would you give anybody want to start this luxury lifestyle designing career where you are today? especially to the woman entrepreneur and also to the male as well. What advice would you give that they should not drift but achieve remarkable success? What do you think that's the most element thing what you would like to say?
Absolutely. So I definitely think that if one were to start out studying interior design or industrial design or even architecture, that will probably be the most helpful, at least for my part of the industry and for what it is specifically that I do. A lot of my colleagues just throughout my career were actually industrial designers, and I came from an interior design background. And so I did end up having to learn, 3D modeling software is the same 3D modeling software that they used. And I essentially had to do that in order to keep up with everything that they were doing. But I ended up really loving it. It was a struggle at the beginning, but then, the more you practice something and the more time you dedicate and you put into learning something new to get you to where you're going, it always ends up paying off. So it's a little bit more difficult if somebody is in a completely different career and they want to transition into design. One can still do it. One can definitely still do it. There are different ways that others in the industry have gotten into design. Like sometimes they might come from an engineering background before and
Yes.
they just happen to know the software, and maybe design at one point like needed some extra help from engineering. And so, but then that engineer started helping with, curating material schemes, or maybe they help doing other things. And so sometimes it's just who you end up being employed under. And aircraft completion centers, as well as aircraft manufacturers, I would say getting internships with them to start out with, that would be my suggested lineage, just because that's what I did. And or if you're in another career and you're looking to, maybe change gears, and maybe you're not interested in design, but you feel like you could perhaps, contribute with your own skill set and have some value to add with one of those other companies, then absolutely. And it's funny because in aviation, a lot of times people just think it's just one big umbrella, one big industry, but there's the business aviation sector, which we technically fall under that, designing VVIP aircraft interiors. There's the VVIP completion sector, which is even smaller of a niche. There's the designers who work with narrow and wide body aircraft, which is what I do. I do light and long range business jets too, but my specialty is narrow and wide body. But then there are designers who only do light and long range business jets. So what's so beautiful, everybody kind of has their own skill set and their own niches. And I feel like there's a place for everybody.
Lovely. Thanks so much for sharing this valuable advice, and I hope these golden nuggets will be taken away from all the people who are seeking or merging in this industry. Valuable advice from the experts are always welcome. As we say that, we sit across the table with a wise man or woman. What we can learn in 5 minutes, we cannot learn in 50 years. So that's so true. So now, quickly, can you tell us about, Natalie, what is one of your favorite business jets or VIP jets you have worked on? I don't want you to answer the name of the client, but the model of the jet plane. What was your glorious moment, the most expensive jet you have worked, and what was the awe moment for you? You can tell us quickly.
Oh my gosh. So I would say, the platform that I tend to work on the most, and just this is, I would say, if one is going into the narrow and wide body like transport category aircraft, most of the time they'll start with a 737 or maybe an Airbus ACJ A319. And but I would say probably two of my favorite projects definitely were from the Boeing business jet 737-700 series. One was a head of state project. They were just extremely specific in their requirements. They had such a wonderful team. They had just a wonderful. They really did have a wonderful team to work with. And then the second one was for charter, so it was great. But honestly, it's so hard to pick because every project is so special and so different. So even saying those two, I'm like, oh my gosh, but there are so many others that that I
You
could.
counted some of the other
But
ones.
there was another one. There was another one that was a 757. That one was so special. Uh,
Okay. No,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt you there, but this, whatever your remarkable gratitude, one of those clients, dignified clients, will be listening and watching the show that you have gratitude towards them. They will be also in our moment too. Thanks for sharing that. It's always heart touching that when we share our moments that we were dreaming about and we did it and now it's next, so it's become a history, a saga, and when we recollect the recapitulate those attributes and the experiences, it's bring us so much beautiful joy to gain that experience, like wow, I was dreaming and I did it, now it's on, and giving gratitude to that.
Cool.
Lovely. Okay, Natalie. Well, thanks so much for sharing your career path, your adversity and defeat, your childhood until now. Now, let's do this second round we call Make the World Happy Round. Make the World Happy
Yay.
Round. Are you ready for your short, sweet, and rapid fire questions?
Yes.
Great. All right.
So,
So, okay, tell us, what does lifestyle mean to you?
lifestyle, I would say, is it's a combination of of some of the bigger things that make you happy, and but then it could also be those little things. Like for me, lifestyle is having a nice cup of coffee with one of my family members, my friends, my loved ones across from me. But then it's putting in a great day's worth of work. It's traveling. It's trying that really nice restaurant that plates their food very nice. I would say lifestyle is just anything that makes you happy, even if it might not make sense to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's your lifestyle. That is what you do. That your lifestyle is you. And I love my loved ones. So
Wonderful. What a
somebody
great.
else's lifestyle will look different.
Oh, so sweet. Thanks so much for sharing that. You already answered my second question about the happiness too. So we got that. You got happiness in your lifestyle. So we'll jump to the third question. We'll say, so if you believe in failure, what does failure mean to you? If you believe in failure, or what does it mean to you?
Right. Well, I don't believe in failure in the sense that it defines you. I
Okay.
think failure is a learning experience.
Wonderful. Now, thanks for sharing that, Natalie. Now, you live in Texas. Now, what does Texas lifestyle mean to you? Because I think I was at Dallas Fort for my seminars there. They're known for their barbecues and all, but we would like to know from you as a first hand, what does it mean to you?
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm probably going to be a terrible Texan because the things that are stereotypically Texan or what others might consider to be Texan, I don't do most of those things. I love barbecue. I love brisket. Brisket is probably my favorite, but love sausage, love ribs, a nice rare steak. I do love that. I would say, okay, yeah, that's pretty stereotypically Texan, I would say.
Apart
But
from
my family and the weather. I'll just keep it short and sweet like that.
that's good. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. Now, tell us, Natalie, being a woman entrepreneur, is it challenging or rewarding?
Rewarding, and I've had a very positive experience. I will say that because it is a male-dominated industry that I'm in, being in the business aviation sector, designing VVIP aircraft interiors. Interface with most of the people that I interface are male colleagues, but honestly, I love them to death. I haven't really had to face anything that you would call adversity for women in the workplace or anything like that. I've thankfully had a very supportive group of colleagues throughout my career, and any comment or whatever that might have been said from somebody at some time down the road, it literally goes over my head, and I just because that's not my goal, is to dwell on what might have been said. I just keep moving forward.
We like to work for rewarding. Everybody deserves rewarding. But there are challenges. And according to me, challenges are the things which we have never tried or learned.
Yes.
That's why it's challenge. Once we acquire those knowledge, skills, and talent, those challenges becomes reward. So I think this is the way I see with the challenges and all. And I never use word in my team when I do training. And for my team, I said, there's a problem. I say, any problem, when you say I always become happy, I say we are close to our successful point. Anytime you say, "Oh, there is a problem, sir," I say, "Well, let's hear it," because now we are very close to that. If you have a problem, for me, I say it's not a problem; it's a challenge. So let's take it as
There
a
we
challenge.
go.
Yes.
That's so
Now,
perfect. No, that's so perfectly said.
thank you so much, Natalie. Now, Natalie, in this question, you have to choose only one. I will give you four options. Okay, you have to choose one. What do
Okay.
you What do you like more in your life? Love, sex, money, or fame?
Oh my
Love,
gosh, love,
sex,
love,
money, or fame? Love.
love 100%.
Perfect.
There's nothing that tops love ever, ever, ever. And it's the most selfless thing that one can do, and it's the most beautiful thing that one can do. And it's and
Wonderful.
that one can experience as well.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for sharing. Okay, Natalie, do you believe in working harder, smarter, or faster?
All three, but
Not
sometimes faster can
100%.
always. I know. It's funny. I'll say all three of them.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing. Now, how do you create brand new ideas? How do you champion new ideas?
Oh, that's such a good question. And it's so different every single time. Sometimes I'll be walking out and about somewhere and I will really enjoy some tile flooring at a restaurant. And so I might take a picture of it, and that might inspire a brand new design concept for an interior. Or maybe I'm super stumped on how to design a seat, but then I happen to get my inspiration from an automotive interior.
Okay,
Yeah.
in this question, imagine now, uh, Natalie, if you would be the host of this show, if I would be the guest of the show, what question you would have asked me?
Oh my gosh, I would love to know how you got your start in, I would say, the marine sector, because I think a lot of the guests that you've had on this show,
Yeah.
and the name of the show, Yacht Heroes, I would love
Yeah.
to know the origin of that, as well as, how you got into the marine space to begin with, the luxury marine space at that. So I would love to know that.
Okay, well, thanks so much. That's a very meaningful question to me. It's very close to my heart. I started working in the yachting industry by maintaining and managing yachts, and from small boat to other big yachts too, but not super yachts yet too. So over a decade, I've gained tremendous amount of experience by meeting who's who of the people from the corporate level who are the owners of the yacht. I can't name them, but they've been very dignified and highly educated. At the same time, the opposite too. I find all five fingers are not same, so all owners are not same too as well. And with that experience, I I merged into this industry. It's very sophisticated, elite, and it has this one of this distinguished style which pleases my equilibrium to live in that harmonious lifestyle. So in this industry, I think it's not a go go go. It's very elite and sophisticated and relaxed. The things works in a very appropriate manner. It's not a very cheesy thing. Go and patch the work done and put the brick on the wall and it's away. So this is very uh, mindful, very elite and luxurious way. But I'm not talking about the wealth, but I'm talking about the dignity behind the work. So it really
Yeah.
pleases me. That's why I met who's of the people in this industries, and I've been honored also to be participate in the Monaco Yacht Show to cover the show and all. Unfortunately, and we did a lot of online interviews too as well. And I came up with this idea, Yacht Hero. I think from the cabin crew, from the crew on the deck to the yacht builders to the owner to the broker. I believe everybody is a yacht hero. There is no such thing that only the owner of the yacht is a yacht hero. The people who are, so that's why I created my tagline for the show, the movers and the shakers of the yachting industry. So all the industry people in the yachting are the yacht heroes, and they are the movers and the shaker of the yachting industry. And you, as an also part of the yachting industry, you are the movers and shaker. I created this show in short to bring all the untold story of the yacht heroes and to share their wise wisdom, to enlighten up others' thoughts, and to bring new innovative ideas for sustainability, especially. In this way, we've been heard, we've been sharing our ideas, sustainable, innovative ideas, to make this world a beautiful and beautiful place and live in a better way where we are today. So this is the way my broadcasting company has started to share the knowledge and wisdom. As I said, the biggest gift of our life we can give someone is the exchange of knowledge. And that's why I like to do this show. And that's what I'm here for. I hope I answered your question in this way.
Yes. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, beautiful beginning and beautiful story. And it totally makes sense. And I love that it's so special to you as well. And I can tell you're very passionate about it. So, biggest congratulations. This is so well
Thanks.
deserved. And I just love how far you've come.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and this is the Yacht Hero also, and also the show. Other show is the Happy Idea Show, and this is
Right.
what I do. So the Happy Idea Show theme is thoughts, ideas, and the stories of lifestyle legend. An idea. This is only everything which is on your room right now. It was an idea in a human mind, including this internet where we are today, sitting far 1,000 miles away. It was an idea. I believe an idea can change a life. But most importantly, an actionable idea can improve and flourish the life of him or herself and others. That's why I started this two show, Happy Idea Show, to share the ideas, thoughts, ideas, and story of lifestyle legend. Now, a lot of time people say, why lifestyle legend? Because I believe we are all born our legend. Someone has to discover it or someone will discover it. So this is the Happy Idea Show. Thanks so much. I believe we are close to our show,
Yeah.
Anita. So I would like to ask, what is your message to the beautiful people of the world?
Don't let setbacks and failures, like what we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
don't let setbacks, failures, if you want to call them that, hold you back from what it is that you want to do. And
Yes.
life is going to be hard, and it's okay whenever life gets hard. There are also many beautiful things about this world and things about life. And whenever you have the beautiful things that happen, hold on to those and don't let them go. Whenever anything happens where you're going through a really hard time, you're going through adversity, you maybe lost your job, you lost somebody very close to you, your relationship ended, anything like that, it's going to hurt, but it's all going to be so temporary, and it's ultimately going to lead you to where you're ultimately supposed to be. And we won't understand why certain things had to happen the way that they did until we get where we're going, much like we were talking about earlier. And
Yes.
I only drive that point home so much because it's something that mindset is so important for me in order to continue moving forward, because it's very easy sometimes whenever you might be very sad about something, or you might just be really, really down. It's very easy for that to slow you down. Your advantage to get you ultimately where you need to go.
Fantastic. Very well said that. Thanks so much for this wonderful answer. Short and sweet. I would like you to say in Spanish, what is your message to the beautiful people of the world? I don't want to disappoint your Spanish audience.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I know. So I would say, siempre diga tú mismo, yo puedo sin miedo. Y es todo. Es todo que tengo que decir.
Okay, well, thanks so much. That was short and sweet.
That essentially means always tell yourself I can without fear. And that's all that I have to say.
Natalie, now tell us, inshallah, how did you like this Yacht Hero show? How did you like the Happy Idea show?
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun, and thank you so much again for having me. I'm so glad we were able to make this work. And yeah, I just had such a wonderful time. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for your beautiful time and for your wise wisdom. We couldn't be happier and pleasure enough here to see you, that you have shared your wise wisdom, thoughts, ideas, and stories from aviation to yachting to luxury lifestyle, designing in the air, on the ground. So much of fun and joy you have shared. And we are very grateful for you and all the audience, whoever is watching or listening. Thanks so much for all your wonderful time. And let us know what you like in this show. What is your takeaway? And we will get back to you soon. Thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Happy. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for sharing your wise wisdom. Your thoughts, ideas, and stories are remarkable. Your innovative idea regarding the aviation industry and yachting industry. And congratulations once again for being selected for the Yachting and Aviation Award. So remarkable. Your wise wisdom is priceless. And your advices, your story, your untold story has really impacted me, and of course, the people around the world who work with you. No doubt they are very fan of your artistic and innovative work, and you are keep spreading the wise wisdom to help other to be the better person in their line of the field. Today, I want to say thanks so much for being on the show, and you have related the yachting industry and aviation industry are correlated. A mega yacht is almost incomplete without having a private jet. And whoever have a private jet, they know what we are talking about. The interior makes a lot of difference. Why would we not go in a commercial airplane? Why we need to have a private jet? Because of the interior designing, because of the luxury, because of the exclusivity, and why it is difference between seaplane to business plane. It is remarkable. Thank you so much, Natalie, for sharing your wise wisdom today, and wish you good luck. If you want to come on my show and share your thoughts, ideas, or story, if you think that you are the yacht heroes. So who are the yacht heroes? Yacht heroes are the movers and the shaker of the yachting industry. This is Happy Bains, your host, and I want to say thanks so much for watching or viewing wherever you are or listening. You have greatness in you. Do not believe in other people's opinion and let not become it's your reality. You are genius and you can do it, and you do it again. Thank you.